Hello CraftDee family, and welcome to another tutorial by She's So CraftDee. For today's DIY projects, we will be creating some Christmas and holiday home decor DIYs made with mostly Dollar Tree items. Now these projects have a beautiful combination of red and black buffalo check along with some holiday greenery and decor accents. Now some can also be used year-round so you can enjoy them much longer than one season. Now, as always, all of the projects I create have a complete supply list in the description box so you can easily use it for reference as you gather up your supplies. Now, before we start, I have to say, hey to all of my subscribers. And if you're a new visitor to my channel today, I hope you consider subscribing as well and stick around to enjoy these crafts and all the different ways that I'll show you how to style these in your space. So now, let's jump right into the projects. Now this project is a framed snowflake Christmas tree. We'll need one 10-pack of these snowflakes from the Dollar Tree, some tumbling tower blocks from the Dollar Tree, and some black foam board from the Dollar Tree. Now we're going to start off by removing all of our 10 snowflakes from our package, and we're going to go ahead and cut off all of those strings since we won't need them for this project. Now once all the strings are removed, we're going to take it out. I'm going to give it 2 coats of this satin bright white spray paint by Krylon, but you can use acrylic or chalk paint if you like. Now while those are drying, we are going to work on the frame. Now I always find it hard to find large frames at the Dollar Tree, so I love building my frames out of tumbling tower blocks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay 8 blocks in a row here, and I'm going to start to glue them together end to end with some wood hot glue, or you can use acrylic wood glue or regular wood glue. It's all up to you for this project. You're just going to glue them end to end all the way down, making sure you wipe away that hot glue. And once you get 1 stick done, this is what it looks like, and we're going to repeat this until we have a total of 4. Now once we have all 4 sticks, we can start putting together our frame, and all we're going to do is we're going to sit them end to end and join them in an L shape, making sure you use that carpenter square to make sure that corner is nice and sharp. Just go ahead and add some hot glue there to the corner. You want to squeeze it for about 5 seconds until it bonds, and then flip it over and add a second one in the other corner. Now once you have 3 of the sides together, you just want to close in that bottom with that final 8 block set. Just add some glue to each end of that one and then adjust it where it sits perfectly in place, making sure you hold it until it bonds. And here is our completed frame, and then let it sit to the glue and completely dries. Now once the glue is dry, we are ready to paint it. Now I'm going to be using some white chalk paint to paint mine, but you can certainly use some antique wax or stain or any color that you like. So what I like to do is start on the inside of the frame and then paint the outside of the frame first. And then once that's done, I'll go ahead and paint the surface of the frame. There's no need to paint the back of this frame for this project. And here it is all painted, and now I'll let it completely dry. Now once that frame is all dry, go ahead and grab your black foam board and your frame, and you want to situate it in the corner of your foam board and then trace the outline of the frame onto the foam board. Now once you have that outline, you want to take your ruler and a utility or an X-Acto knife and then cut along the lines that you marked with your pencil. Now what I also like to do is to trim off an additional 1/4 inch on 2 sides of the square, and this just makes that foam board sit just within the edges of the back of the frame so you can't see it from the front. So once you get that square cut out, sit your frame on top just to make sure the fit is nice, and here you go. You see that that foam board can't be seen from the front, so it's good to go. So now that that's all adjusted, we can just go around the back of the frame with a bead of that hot glue, and then we're going to place our foam board right on top, just making sure that it sits nice and even on the back of the frame. And we flip it over, and now we have our surface to start working with for our tree. So we're going to grab up those snowflakes, which should be nice and dry right now. Now for the first layer of our tree, we are going to take 4 of the snowflakes in a row. Now I'm starting my tree at the very bottom of my frame because I want to put a topper on, but if you didn't want a topper on it, you would start about 2 inches down up from the edge of the bottom of the tree. Now to glue these down, I'm only placing a dot of hot glue in the center of that snowflake just to avoid any glue mess that may be on the back. I find that this hides most of the glue when you do it this way, and just secure all 4 in a row at the bottom. The next row is going to be 3 snowflakes. We're just going to apply them right on top. And once they're glued down, we are going to join 2 snowflakes on top. And then finally, after that, we're going to put 1 snowflake on top of that, so it forms a pyramid, which looks like a really cute tree. So now you see we have enough space at the top to add a topper of your choice. Now for my topper on the tree, I decided to just bundle up some greenery and some berries that I had on hand, and I just tied them together at the top with a piece of jute twine. Now to top off that bundle, I did actually decide to add some black and white ribbon, some red and black ribbon on top that I picked up from Dollar General for $1. I just tied it into a bow, and I'm just going to place that right on top of my little bundle. I'm just going to hot glue that right at the top center and just making sure that that's placed nice and even. And then we're just going to tuck that ribbon down into the bundle. Now I did want some ribbon dangling down onto my tree, so I'm just going to cut 2 pieces that are a little bit longer than my tree, and I'm first going to glue 1 at the top just to make sure that it'll fit, and I'm just testing to see how that swirl action will happen there. So I'm just going to glue that top down, and then once I start working that swirl ribbon in and I know how it's going to look, I'm going to glue a second one on the other side, so I'll make sure I have enough for both pieces. So then I'm going to start to just kind of twist my ribbon around until I have some swirls. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a bit of hot glue as I work my way down. And this is just to hold the shape of all of my swirls as I work my way down. Now you do want this to be loose so the loops of your swirls would stand out from the tree and they will look really cute when you're done. And then once you get down to the bottom, you just want to trim off any excess and then glue that tail right at the bottom. Now here's what one side will look like, and just repeat this on the other side, and here is what my 2 ribbon swirls will look like. So I'm trimming down the top of my berry bundle there just to make sure it's all nice and even, and then I'm going to hot glue it right at the top of my tree. Now I did decide to add a couple of clusters of pine cones, and I got these little mini pine cones from the Dollar Tree as well. And I'm just going to add those to the top as well just to give it a little bit more of a winter snowy effect. And here is what the tree will look like. And check it out, this is what the finished project looks like, and I think it turned out so cute. Now I love all the details in this piece, and working with the snowflakes really makes this tree stand out. Now you can top your tree with greenery, a star, or anything you like, and you can even add lights as well for a different effect. You all have to let me know what you think of this project in the comments below. Now this project is a wood slice decor piece. We're going to need one of these long wood signs from the Dollar Tree. We're going to need a 4-pack of these wood slices that I picked up from Walmart, 50% off for $1.50, and some of these mini hooks from the Dollar Tree. We'll also need poster letters from the Dollar Tree and some of these bows from the Dollar Tree. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is grab our sign, and I did want to cut off that pumpkin section. We won't be using that in our sign. I wanted a solid piece, so I'm just going to draw a straight line with my ruler. And in order to cut this, this is laminated MDF, so wood is actually on the outside and MDF is in the center. So it's really easy to cut in half by just passing through 3 or 4 times with a utility knife or an X-Acto knife, and you get a nice clean edge. So the first thing we're going to do with our wood plank is we're just going to lay that down and grab all of our wood slices. Now these Walmart wood slices had printing on one side. That's not a big deal for me since I will be painting them. So I'm going to lay them and space them out evenly along our wood plank so we can get an idea where they are. Then take some painter's tape. I'm going to cut out some little squares and I'm just going to place a square above where each one of the planks will actually hang on my wood slice, and that way when I apply my hooks it'll have some of the wood to adhere to instead of a painted or stained surface. So go ahead and set your wood slices to the side, and what we're going to do is take our wood plank and I will be staining it. Now I will be using some Waverly Antique Wax for this, but you can use traditional stain or any kind of paint that you like. I'm just going to apply a nice coat of this Waverly Antique Wax all over the front surface and the sides of my wood plank, and then follow up with a paper towel to remove all of that excess wax. Now that it's all dry, we are just going to flip it over and we're going to add our hangers to this. So to hang it, all I'm going to do is take a couple pieces of jute twine with knots tied on each end, and I'm going to take 2 of them, applying 1 in each corner, just making sure each one of those knots is hot glued down on the back, and I want 1 on each side of the back of my frame, making sure that they're evenly spaced apart. Now to cover up those knots, I'm just going to cover them up with some brown craft paper. I'm just going to cut a piece to size, add hot glue to that, and then press it on top of the knots, and this just gives it a really clean and professional look. You just want to press it down, making sure it's nice and secure around the ends of the rope. And here's what it looks like all completed. So now we can flip it back over and we're going to start to remove all of our painter's tape, revealing the raw wood underneath. And then we can grab our miniature hooks. Now I'm only going to be using 4 of the hooks out of this package. So what I like to do is, even though these are self-adhesive hooks, I am going to add just a touch of hot glue to each one of them as I apply them to the board, just for a little bit of added security. So I remove the sticky tape cover, and then I add 2 dots on top of the adhesive exposed, and then press it firmly right on top of that bare wood dot that you have on that wood. And I'm going to do that for all 4 of those until they're adhered into place. Now we're going to set that to the side and start working on our wood slices. So the first thing I'm going to do is take some chalk paint, and what I want to do is I want to paint a circle on the surface of each one of those wood slices. Now I don't want to go all the way out to the edge. I just want to go out, making sure you have about a 1/2 inch left around the edge, and you want to do this on both sides of your wood slices. Now once they're both dried, we want to go ahead and take, this is my key here, so I'm going to have my word snow on one side and LVFE, and I have a little key here of how we're going to lay out the letters and what should be on each side of each wood slices. So I'm going to take my poster letters, and what I'm going to do is I am just going to adhere on the first side the word snow. So I'm going to take those poster letters, making sure it's centered on the white portion that we painted on one side of our wood slices. Now once the first side is done, we're going to flip it over, and then you'll see we did the LVFE on the other side as according to our key. So now what I want to do is take just a light coat of Mod Podge and place it over the letters. Now what this will do is keep our black coating of paint from bleeding through. And then once that Mod Podge dries, take your black acrylic paint, and then this will be the final coat over the entire slice. Now I like to start by carefully going around the edge, making sure I leave about a 1/8 inch of that wood actually showing. This just looks really neat when you go around the edge first, and then once you go around the entire edge of your wood slice, then you can go in and fill in all of the white area around there. Now you want to cover each one of the planks as shown here. You want to do this on both sides. So both sides are now covered and nice and dry. So now once they're dry, all you have to do is remove your poster stickers. I'm using this little picker tool that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to pick the letter out and carefully peel it away. And as you can see, the letters are nice and crisp, and you just want to remove them for all of your slices. And you can see right here, all of the letters are now white, and you can flip them over, and now you have a two-sided letter planks. So now what we're going to do is drill a hole at the top so we can put a hang string. So I'm just going to use a drill bit large enough to fit a piece of jute twine through, and I'm going to drill it up at the top approximately about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. And here are all my wood slices all drilled. And then I'm going to take a piece of jute twine. I cut a piece about 10 inches, and I'm going to tie a knot in each end and trim off the edge. And then to make your hang loop, all you have to do is you have to take one of your strings. You're just going to feed it through the drill hole through to the back. You want to loop it around and just feed that tail through there, and then just pull it really tight and snug. And now you have one hang loop ready for your project. And now you can repeat this for the remainder of your wood slices. Now for an accent for these, I am going to be using some of these bows and some miscellaneous pieces of greenery that I had laying around. So these bows already come with a twisty tie on the back, so I'm just going to lay that greenery right on top of that twisty tie and just give it a few turns, leaving some of the tail of the twisty tie still there to use. Now you're going to do this for about 4 of your other bows, and make sure you have 4 sets. Now just go ahead and grab your wood plank with your hooks, and we're going to test and measure and see how our wood planks will hang on our hooks and see how we want to apply our bows. So this hangs just like I intended, just slightly off the board. And now I'm going to take one of my bows, and with that remainder of the twisty tie that's still on there, I am going to twist it around the top of that tie loop, leaving just a little loop available at the top to place on the hook on our board. Now I love doing it this way because you can interchange the bows however you like to, and it's not permanent, so you can change it up with whatever decor that you like. Now here is what one will look like when it's all hung with the bow, and you just want to complete this for your other pieces, and now you have the word snow with your little bows on top. And here it is. You know what? I think this turned out so adorable. Now I love how easy it was to really make this beautiful lettering, and you didn't even need a cutting machine to do it. Now the ribbon and greenery are totally interchangeable, and that's what makes this piece so versatile. So now, even though this is a snow sign, you can make more holiday words by just flipping around and switching up the letters. Now with a little flip and swap, now you have Noel. Then you can use just 3 of the slices, and now you have elf. And love is also an option too. Give a thumbs up if you love projects that are multi-purpose as well. Now this project is a set of easy holiday vases. Now you're going to need 2 of these round glass vase bowls from the Dollar Tree, 2 candle holders of your choice from the Dollar Tree. You'll need some assorted holiday greenery for the filler, and a couple of bows from the Dollar Tree. So grab your candle holders and grab your bowls, and what we're going to do is we're going to be joining these together. Now I'm going to be using the bottom of these candle holders because it is a larger surface than the top, and it'll fit the bowls a lot better. So go ahead and remove all of those peel and stick stickers on there. Now I am going to be using my hot glue for this, so I'm just going to run a bead of hot glue around the bottom and stick it on that candle holder. Now if you do want this to be permanent, definitely use some E6000 along with your hot glue for this project. So once that's adhered, now we're going to put an assortment of greenery. Now I have some berries that I picked up from the Dollar Tree, and some miscellaneous pieces of garland and snowy cedar pieces, and just stick those in the bowl and arrange them however you like. And once that's done, we're going to repeat this process for the second one, and now you have a cute set of 2. Now for these, you can add another bow to this. So we had 2 bows left from our project. So I'm just going to twist that tie and get it out of the way. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a bit of hot glue to the top of one and place a bow at the bottom of each one of those candle holders. How cute. Now once you do this, there's a variety of ways you could jazz it up. You can even add some fairy lights to it, or you can even add some votive lights to this. Then all you have to do is just nestle each one inside of there, and it fits there right in the center. You can turn on those lights and display them. And how easy was that? You get 2 beautiful decor pieces that are super quick and easy to make. Now these are the perfect final pieces to make a complete display of all of these projects today. Now I really had fun creating these projects today, and I hope that they've inspired you to create your own versions of these. Now as always, I love them all, but let me know in the comments which one was your favorite today. Listen, if you love DIYs on a budget, please give this video a thumbs up and share this video with your friends. Make sure that you're following She's So CraftDee on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest for the latest news, sneak peeks, and giveaways. If you like videos like these and you don't want to miss the next one, make sure you're subscribed by clicking that subscribe button below, or just click on my She's So Crafty logo on your screen and make sure you hit that bell to be notified when the next DIY goes live. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.